Hey again, fellas, and welcome back to Quite with a Y. Today I want to do a little exercise with you. Sometimes when I'm just browsing Reddit or on TikTok, whatever I do to waste the few hours I have in a day, I'll see like one meme that has enough specific detail that I'm like, I could maybe make a video on that topic. But a lot of times it's just stuff that I find amusing very briefly, bookmark, and then never look at again, because they just don't really flesh out to something I would consider full length enough for the main channel. But I still have this like itch in the back of my head to talk about them in some manner, so that's what I'm doing here. I'm challenging myself to improve my ability to stretch videos to 10 minutes. For example, I had this excerpt of an official Sonic magazine that came out in the early aughts, and the fact it's official is crazy because of some of the stuff that gets said in it. Will you go through this with me, please? Thank you. Team Rouge, the girls, and Big the Cat, their gay best friend. I'm actually pretty okay with the characterization of Big as a gay. He could also be the fabled part-time bisexual. Amy was first seen 10 years ago as Sonic's non-playable girlfriend in Sonic CD, before making her full playable debut in Sonic Adventure. It's sometimes crazy for me to think that Sonic Adventure is a game older than I am, because I experienced it as a release in the 2000s for the GameCube. Like, you took the disc and put it in the Wii and then it can play GameCube games. But it's been closer to 30 years since that release than 20. Amy has never been that good, to be honest, unlike Cream the Rabbit, who is amazing. Really amazing. I'm getting the feeling that this guy's a big Sonic Advance 2 fan. He probably recognizes the name Jammerl if I say it out loud. Y'all probably won't, and why would you? You have better things to put in your brain cells. So in that first paragraph, just having major favoritism towards one character over the other I find really funny. But there's nothing like super egregious. Everybody has their own favorite character, and you can genuinely like a character more because of the things they appeared in. Silver the Hedgehog would probably have been a beloved staple of the Hedgehog trio if Sonic 06 had gone over well. But what do they say next? Amy Rouge, Sonic's girlfriend. History doesn't record if they've had sex or not, but we reckon they probably have. You're sure? Like, you're serious? That's something you've been ruminating on? But yeah, they reckon they probably have had sex. Look at her. Foire, eh? I'm sorry, early 2000s Xbox magazine article writer, but I'm really not on board with you on this one. Like, listen, if this is a hill you want to die on and say out loud, by all means, die. I'll be over here. So we prefer Cream nowadays because apparently it's an ear thing. I need y'all to understand, Cream is like a toddler. A few years ago, Amy was as good as it got for bizarre cartoon character sex fantasies. Not that we ever did that you realize. The worst part about this whole thing is if the poll for you was the ears, the mom is right there. Vanilla the Rabbit, they debuted in the same game. That's a grown-ass rabbit person who can step on you. Why? What are we doing here? I was dying to find out where this came from originally, and it turns out it's an old Xbox magazine, like the official Xbox mag, and they did an issue on Sonic Heroes, and they had profiles like this for every character in there. One guess as to what they said and focused on about Rouge the Bat. We like Rouge the Bat, probably because she's got tits and she looks really dirty. I don't understand how you think Rouge looks dirty, man. She is a very, like, well put together person. Her makeup never blemishes no matter how much action she's seeing. She's got tits and she looks really dirty, which is what we like in bats, we're afraid. Listen, I get it, the enduring appeal of like a vampire girlfriend or whatever, and at least Rouge was the one Sonic character conceived with the sex appeal in mind. Wins the top 10 hottest Sonic characters every single time. But the things that the writers ascribe to these characters is just absurd. The first openly goth Sonic character, okay wait, that part's actually based. Rouge is a kinky archaeologist who wants the troublesome Chaos Emeralds for herself. Yeah, a lot of people forget that Rouge has a degree. That bat is digging up dinosaur bones. She's not doing no small fry. I took personal offense to the entry for Shadow and made me like want to bust a gasket. First, they take a real disrespectful pee at the top of the page when they describe Team Dark. Ooh, the bad guys! It's also the newest team. Thanks to them being ripped from 2 Dreamcast Sonic outings. Frankly, we're suspicious of Sonic characters we've never seen in 2D. It just doesn't seem quite right. They're too new. Where's the proven track record? No, sir, not convinced at all. 20 years on, and now it's been long enough for a game to be made about how many games Shadow has been in. Oh, sorry, my mistake. Shadow Sonic. Did Sega have final approval over this whole thing? Like, did they just let them get away with this? According to the official history of the Sega series, Shadow Sonic is an omnipotent super hedgehog created in a military laboratory to be the ultimate in rodent-based warfare. I mean, so far so good. That's not too far off of a description. You know, it uses colorful prose and language that might come off as condescending to those reading, but not like objectively untrue, you know what I mean? Until they said, according to us, however, he's just Sonic, only in black. Probably has a heart of gold though. They always do. These games' release order is really ambiguous to me because I gained sentience after they had already been released for a few years, so I just kind of experienced as I found out about them. So I have to remind myself, Sonic Heroes came out before Shadow the Hedgehog, meaning that like a lot of Shadow's brooding, edgy personality that was pushed in that game didn't really exist as strongly. Like in SA2, he was a big old softy fulfilling a dead girl's wish as his motivation. Now he has amnesia, which is awesome. I think one of the most egregious parts of this entire article, though, is this guy's write-up on Charmy Bee. You know, the annoying, obvious toddler that is the butt of many jokes for being annoying. Charmy Bee could have been a star Sonic character. You're straight up just wrong. There is nowhere his character could go except into a vat of acid. He's like maybe a single-digit amount of people's favorites, and way more diehard fans like Mighty instead. And in the absence of a clear thing to blame your problems on, they shift their focus onto Charmy Bee. And look at the way they talk about him after. He could have been a star Sonic character if it were not for the poor thing being hampered by making its only appearance in Chaotix. It flies, firing off in a line each time you press the jump button. Could be extremely cool in Heroes. A star of the future? A boy? A girl? We just don't know. Alright, bud. They're like surprisingly respectful of pronoun usage in this article as well, though. Like, remember, this is from like at the latest 2003. E102 Gamma is a robot created by the consistently evil but curiously ineffective Dr. Robotnik. E102 eventually turns against its creator before committing suicide, an emotional ending. And here it comes. Actually, turns out he, she, it actually lived. Early adoption of non-standard, non-binary pronouns. That's dope. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to be circling this back to Cream the Rabbit. Oh, and also Cheese. Like, this might be the one section where the guy just stopped making jokes. He was so locked in. We love Cream. We're being serious. That little fellow with her is her pet slash confidant slash muse, Cheese the Chow, who attacks stuff to help her out. She's the best new Sonic character since Tails. She makes us want to cry, and we don't know why. Buy Sonic Advance 2. It's the best 2D Sonic of them all. I don't know if it was one guy who wrote every passage in this article, or if it was different people doing write-ups of different characters. And with Cream, I respect the general sentiment of seeing her makes your heart melt. Like that, you gotta protect her, alright? I've played Sonic Battle. I've seen that kid cry over me beating up some fucking robots. But I remember what you were saying about her in Amy Rose's passage. You were thinking about Cream so much that half of a different character's biography was about them. I mean, while we're here, we might as well look at Big the Cat's entry. We think Amy and Cream just got him in their team to carry their bags or make them look thin. Okay, dude. The craziest part about this is that I'm pretty sure Big the Cat has some of the craziest speed feats inside the Sonic universe. Like, he is canonically in the background of every stage on Sonic Adventure 2. He even references being there in Shadow Generations. Hell, canonically, he's the only guy who's ever met Elise from Sonic 06. He's just a stupid cat who they say likes fishing. He does, and that's awesome. All this dude ever did was try to find his frog and offer to teach you how to fish, and y'all hated him. But he really doesn't like to fish because he's just made up. As far as I'm concerned, the writer of this article is a fictional entity who I will never have to risk meeting in person. These are just words on a screen. You're not real either. You're about as existent as Big the Cat is in my brain, probably less. Have you ever heard of the old concept that belief creates deities? You'll see it in a lot of like shows and books where basically prayer is the substance that gods feast off of, and the more people that believe in him, the stronger they grow because of belief. I think the same principle carries on to the modern day. People really did not like Big the Cat when he first came out the gate swinging. Just the butt of many jokes, called annoying, his gameplay handled like crap, and then as time has gone on, outside of the whims of Sega, people have assigned new meaning to Big the Cat, new things to like about him, personality quirks that we now appreciate as grown adults. We can all respect a chill guy who has a best friend he tries to keep safe, that's just trying to fish and chill out when everything around him's collapsing. He's a relatable character, and this did not age well, man. Now, truthfully, some of the meanest shit they say has to be Team Chaotix. They are not nice to these fuckers at all. We love Sonic games, but we won't even be bothering with Team Chaotix much in Sonic Heroes. I hope you eventually had to play it because you wanted to get the true ending and you hated every single second of it. Actually, no, better off, I hope you enjoyed the shit out of it and that you have to live with yourself, look yourself in the mirror every morning, knowing that you had an incorrect opinion at any point in your life. They say rubbish like 40 times here, so I'm also going to read this with a shit British accent for all parts of it. Chaotix was rubbish, the characters in it were rubbish, it even appeared on Sega's most rubbish and poorly supported console, the 32X Mega Drive upgrade, a right disaster all around. Victor the Crocodile is rubbish too, the how stupid he looks. Vector's a stupid name, and nothing called Vector ever went on to be a success. Wrong! Vector imagery, bitch! The Vector submachine gun! Get Nanad, get bibliography, just cited my sources. I can appreciate that they have at least some respect for Espio, because that's my goat. Him and Silver are a really fun duo. Am I autistic sounding enough yet? Espio the Chameleon isn't completely rubbish. He's just mostly rubbish. You know what you're full of, writer? Shit! Go take a laxative and shit whatever's in your stomach out, man. I'm sick of you taking it out on the rest of us and these beloved characters. Okay, most people don't know Espio, but you get what I mean. His USP was the way his color pulsated as you played. Just about the best special effect the awful Mega Drive 32X could muster up. At least he looks rather nice on Xbox, which admittedly isn't much consolation. Okay, I think I need to stop inhaling whatever has been put into the data of these files. I'm wrapping this video up here. Hopefully my challenge worked and there are mid-rolls on this. If you guys want to suggest videos, that kwytebox@gmail.com is always open. Anyways, yeah, that's it. Piss off.